We're fresh cracking the 2023 release of Michter's 10-year bourbon. Can this sub 95 proof bottle really be the best bourbon I have all year? Let's find out. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Neat Bourbon. My name's Tanner, and today we've got a special day. We've got the Michter's 10-year bourbon, and we've also got the regular Michter's small batch bourbon. Now, I'm sure some of y'all might have seen my my New York bottle haul. Was able to get this bottle from New Jersey up there. This is their 2023 Michter's 10-year bourbon, clocking in at 94.4 proof. Mash bill is undisclosed on that. And this is the Michter small batch bourbon coming in at 91.4. So went out and got a new one of these just so, for comparison's sake, they're both going to be fresh cracks. So let's go ahead and get into these. And then we can. Man, I've been looking forward to doing this review ever since I heard about this bottle coming out. I had to look very hard to be able to track one of these bad boys down. I can leave this up here for the sake of the review. Boom. Boom. So now, this Michter's 10-year bourbon, the mash bill is undisclosed. Pretty sure it's sourced. I don't think Michter's is producing their own distillate currently for these. The backstory on these is, they tasted them last year and they weren't quite ready. And they said, in 2022, the barrels were already well over 10 years aged. So these are rumored to be, 12 to 15 years old. But, who knows? The Michter's small batch bourbon, I believe Michter's is actually filling these with their own distillate. I know they used to be sourced, but I believe this is their own distillate now. But yeah, so we got the regular small batch here, and we've got the 10-year bourbon. Just kind of want to see, just pick this one up, at retail. It's like $47. This one retail is $189. I paid $210 for it. I'm always a little skeptical of spending that much money on a bottle that's under 95 proof. I don't know. I feel like you can go through the bottles pretty quick, and that's a boatload of money to spend on a bottle. So I really hope this pour lives up to all the hype. And nevertheless, I mean, spending almost $50 on a 91 proof bottle of bourbon. Michter's isn't cheap, regardless of the tier. So let's go ahead and get into the nose and see if we can't tell any differences here. Yeah, I mean, that's very caramelly sweet. Little butterscotchy there, definitely. A little bit of nut there, but nothing major. Wow, I mean, that is night and day between the two. I mean, this one, just the faintest hint of note. Wow, I mean, this like jumps out of the glass. I mean, you get like cherries, man, like like cherry like oak, almost like a cherry oak like pipe tobacco note, coming through. I mean, that is almost like a little bit of like a dusty note on that as well. Like that is I was not expecting that on the nose. That is incredibly complex. Let's go ahead and get into the palate. I mean, it's definitely night and day. I mean, this doesn't smell bad at all. I mean, this smells very good, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely like this is definitely like a sweet fruity bourbon. You know, this is my first sip of bourbon of the day. I mean that tastes great. It's got a little fruitiness to it, more like like the sweetness is coming from I don't know, one of those fruit cups you have from a kid, and like how the juice in that cup can kind of have like a fruity sweetness to it. That little syrup has that like one little maraschino cherry in there. I mean, it's giving me like you know hints of like I don't know, kind of reminds me of almost like an Eagle Rare esque of sort of like a flavor profile and sweetness, just like on a little bit of the like darker side, a bit of like a little more not quite as like bright. But yeah, that's great. Let's go ahead over to now the star of the show. I mean, just by like looking at them in the glass, the 10 year is definitely a little bit darker. I mean, the regular small batch has legs, but they fall down pretty quick. I don't know this 10 year. Maybe you can see it in the glass. They just kind of stay. That's really excited. I mean, this nose, like that cherry pipe tobacco is, man, like it's that cherry sweet oak pipe tobacco, like chocolate, like dark goodness. Like, cheers. See what you think. Whoa. Wow. That is a doozy. There's lot of flavors going on there on the palate. Wow. Um, cheers. One more. Wow. Yeah. So like, I'm getting that like that cherry pipe tobacco is right up front, and then you get like kind of goes from that like front sweetness like with that cherry, like that cherry tobacco, little oak flavor. Then you get more of like a raisined caramel sweetness, kind of going into the mid palate. Um, and then I get like some more of the oak, and it like I don't want to say it dries out like a scotch, but not in terms of like anything negative. Just like it's more you know the age on the bourbon. I think being apparent. I mean, this is really one of the more complex noses and palates that I've. I mean, that nose is just. I mean, I'm trying to think of what bottle kind of reminds me. I don't know. I mean, that is spectacular. Yeah, I mean, you get the initial punches like that sweetness with like that red berry, like that cherry, drying esque like pipe tobacco. Then you're getting, just like rolling around in caramel from like the front, to the middle of your back palate. It's just that is a yeah. I mean, you don't even realize that this bottle is a lower proof bourbon. Really, really, honestly, very shocked. I mean, that has a decent finish, surprisingly. For only being 95 proof. So in conclusion, the U.S. one Michter small batch bourbon, in that like $47 to $50 range. It's really giving you all like the classic bourbon caramel flavors, giving you the sweetness, that like corn sweetness coming into that bottle. I mean it's solid. Everything that you want out of a bourbon, I feel like this kind of hits on it. But this 10-year is just, I mean, it really is spectacular. And I'm not just saying that because, it was an expensive bottle. I mean, I'm ecstatic that this bottle actually lives up to the hype. And I mean, I feel like I can keep going back to this nose. I mean, I just can't get over. Like, I love the sweet oak, flavor. I know I've said that a lot in a bunch of my videos, but those older aged sweet oak flavors. You get a scotch of that dryingness on the back palate. You've got just so much of that cherry, tobacco flavor on the front. And then it rolls into like, almost like a prune raisin covered in caramel in the middle of the palate. It is a flavor roller coaster, and I really haven't tried anything like that I've been able to, pick out so many different, notes from. So, I mean, it's definitely in contention for, the best bourbon I'll have of the year. I haven't been able to track down too many of those, rare unicorns, but this one is definitely top of my list right now. But anyways, hey, again, this is Neat Bourbon. My name's Tanner. If you enjoyed this video, would you consider giving me a like? Would you leave a comment down below? Have you had the Michter's 10-year? Is it even available in your area? If it is, what are you seeing it for? I know secondary these can get up to like $400 or $500. That's insane for any bottle of bourbon. But yeah, you consider subscribing. Love making these videos. Going to try to be bringing more bottle reviews to you and doing some more comparisons against the entry level offering to kind of give you my thoughts and opinions. This Michter's 10, absolute home run. It's a shame that definitely not going to be able to find another one of those. This bottle here, shelfer everywhere in the country. Love it. Great bottle. Again, this is Neat Bourbon. My name's Tanner, and as always, pop the bottles and share the pours. We'll see you in the next one.